अरेहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So yesterday's lecture was recorded for 10 minutes only. I'm very sorry for that. In between there was a drop in internet connections, and I think the other students also left the group, left the Zoom meeting. So the meeting altogether closed. Otherwise, earlier also I had similar problem, but the recording was continuing. Somehow yesterday I could not connect to it. So the recording is only for 10 minutes. But anyway, the textbook is there. You can read from the textbook. So today we'll be covering the fifth one, Anyatva Bhavana. Yes. Separateness of the soul. Contemplations on the separateness of the soul. Feeling of otherness. Okay. So this is the basis of Anyatva Bhavana. Yesterday we covered Ekatva Bhavana. So in Ekatva Bhavana, we discuss of the oneness of the soul, oneness of each substance. And in Anyatva Bhavana, it's the opposite. We contemplate on the separateness of the soul. The soul is separate from all kinds of association, starting from body to toxic emotions to quasi karmas and everything, Soul is on the one side and everything else is on the other side. So there are two divisions only. One is we are our own, and the other one is everything different from us. And to contemplate on that is the subject matter of Anyatva Bhavana, separateness of the soul. In English textbook, it is page number 82. Okay, 82, yeah. So anybody of you can share the textbook, then I will make you a co-host. Otherwise, we will wait for Aditi ji to join. Yeah, Darshit ji, you can do. Okay. Rajeshri ji, you can do. You can share on the screen.
So I'm not in India. I don't have textbook also. I'm out of India. Yeah.
So for textbook, you can download it every shared, updated one, with the correct. So at least you can not sharing for, I'm not talking about the sharing part now, but I'm talking that you can do your studies through that. Okay?
Yeah.
No problem. So I'll just read through and you just listen. If you have the printout with you, you can just see also. So it is page number 82. The impermanence, that is the first contemplation. Then the second one, helplessness. The third one, insubstantial nature of associations. So in the first three, we contemplated on the impermanence nature of the association. In the second one, Asharan Bhavana, we contemplated on helplessness of the nature of association. Helplessness nature of the associations. And in the third one, Sansar Bhavna, we also contemplated on insubstantial nature. Asar, सब कुछ asar है संसार में, है ना? Nature of association have already been seen, have already been explained in impermanence, helplessness, and worldly feelings. Now the fourth one, in oneness, it has been clarified that no associations are companions in happiness and sorrow. The living being experiences all happiness and sorrow alone. Okay. The living being experiences all happiness and sorrow alone. So there is no one to accompany you. This is the fourth one. Now the fifth one. In Anyata Bhavana, it is explained that if we think from the spiritual perspective, okay, then the soul is very different from all associations like the body, etc. So generally, more emphasis is laid on the body because it is the nearest to the soul, you know. So contemplating on the nature of body and other association is part of Anyatva Bhavana. The soul is the embodiment of knowledge and perception. And all external objects, including the body, are different from it. So we are the soul, and everything else, starting from body to all other kinds of associations, are all external objects. They are different from me. Thinking in this manner is the feeling of otherness, Anyatva Bhavana. The soul who, after knowing this essential essence, okay, experiences his soul. The soul, after knowing this essential essence, after knowing this fundamental knowledge, uses or experiences his soul. So once you understand this, once you contemplate on this, and when you arrived at a decision that I am the soul and everything else is different from me, that particular decision leads to experiences and happiness. Okay, so that is the whole journey all about. The feeling of otherness is effective, successful only for him, the one who does this kind of discrimination. Now there is a question. How can a soul that is not united or it is not one with its body be united with its son, wife, or friend? When the body is not mine, how can son, wife, friend, parents can be mine? That is right, because how can the pores remain after removing the skin from the body? So the pores are there on the screen, okay? And if you remove the skin from the body, how the pores will remain? Okay. So this has been explained in a verse from Samaik text. Yeah. From the text, Samaik text. Answer, having decided that neither the external body nor any worldly thing is mine. So here the emphasis is on the decision. Okay, decided. No problem, Darshitji. Okay, fine. Having decided that neither the external body nor any worldly thing is mine, nor I am theirs. O noble soul, you should leave the external things, and here it is written remain healthy, because in Hindi it is written swastha. So swasth means healthy, but the meaning swamestha, okay, that means concentrate on self for attaining salvation. Okay, so you should leave external things, leave all external things, and concentrate on self for attaining salvation. So the shortcut is the path of liberation is a very shortcut, you know. For attaining salvation, you just need to focus on yourself, and all the karms and all types of karms will automatically be destroyed, you know. The monks who attains omniscience knowledge, what they do, they just concentrate on themselves, and on the outside externally, every all the comes automatically gets destroyed. So our job, our work should be to just concentrate on the self. Now when you go to concentrate on the self, before that you have to identify the self. Okay, what are its function, how does it perform its duty, what is his actual duty, whether he can change the things or not. These are some of the questions that you need to answer to arrive at the correct explanation of the self. In Vitrag Vigyan part 3, we had done one essay, who am I? मैं कौन हूँ? So that is the whole answer here. Okay. Concentrate on self for attaining salvation, that is, remain completely absorbed in your soul. Such a nice words. Remain completely absorbed in your soul. Don't look here and there and outside. Nothing is going to be of any help to you, any benefit to you. Only your soul is your sole benefactor. So you just take shelter in your soul, and everything else will happen automatically on the outside, and you will enjoy eternal bliss, infinite bliss. Okay. Now moving on to the next point in the next page, page number 84. Even after being well aware of the fact that associations are temporary, okay, all kinds of associations are temporary, that we learned in the first contemplation. Impermanence, okay. Second, without support, asharan, कोई भी शरण नहीं है. Third, asar, संसार asar है. Insubstantial. Fourth, they are not going to give company, okay. So I am alone only. Fourth. Fifth, even after thinking about the temporary etc. feelings, means the 12 bhavnas, the ignorant due to ignorance, okay, agyani agyanvash, and gyani because of rag attachment, and the wise due to attachment, have some such thoughts, vikalp, that it may be temporary, it may be without support, it may be insubstantial, it may not be a companion, but the body and other objects of associations are our own. Okay, so this is the thought only. They don't believe it. The wise don't believe it, but the ignorant ones believe it, that all these associations are our own. Okay, and the wise believe that not a single association, it's its own. It may not be in, from the real point of view, it may not be, okay, but they are our own in, from the conventional point of view. So they are not our own. All the associations are different from us, but in, from the conventional point of view, we do say that this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. So there is nothing wrong in saying, but if you believe it to be that, then it's a problem. Okay, so that you must take care. But they are our own in Vyavhar, in Jinwani also. They have been called our own in, from the conventional point of view. Now, to mitigate such waves of thoughts, that is Vikalp, I made you a post, Aditi ji. You can start sharing. To mitigate such waves of thoughts, okay, here it is written doubts, but you correct it to thoughts, generated by the force of conventional viewpoint, Vyavhar. The contemplation done in many ways about the spiritual difference of one's own supreme being from the associated external objects. So the distinction between one's own supreme being and the associated external objects, okay, is anitya bhavana. Due to the, you go straight to page 84. Due to the force of this contemplation, the conventional viewpoint becomes weak. Okay. So due to the force of this contemplation, so as you just think and meditate on this fact that all the associations are different for me and I am different, there is no connections between us. So if you think on similar lines and just contemplate, then what happens, it's a very important point. The conventional viewpoint becomes weak, that it is mine, it is mine, it is mine. That thoughts become weak. Okay. And the spiritual real viewpoint aspect. Okay. So again, you have to change here. Determination would be real viewpoint aspect becomes strong. Determination, just remove determination and write real point of view, real viewpoint, right? Viewpoint would be one word. Yes. And earlier also conventional viewpoint will be again one word. So you remove practical because practical means they mean व्यवहार. So this is machine translation. So this kind of problems will always be there. The increasing weakness of, again, not conduct, but conventional viewpoint, the increasing weakness from the conventional viewpoint and the strength of real viewpoint is nirjara. And the strength of real viewpoint is nirjara, which is the direct cause of liberation. So व्यवहार and निश्चय, they are talking in terms of व्यवहार and निश्चय. What is the actual state of difference and unity? What is the actual state of difference? Difference means भिन्नता, and unity, abhinta, between the soul and the body. Okay. So leave 3 lines, then come to this line. Though the soul, this is the example given here. Though the soul and the body are mixed, slightly up. Yes, yes, from here. Though the soul and the body are mixed like water and milk, yet they are not united or identical. They are different, okay? They are completely different. When the body which moves in the same area, not area, it will be same space point. Same space point is different from the soul, okay? When the body itself, which is in the same space point as soul, is different, then wealth, house, son, and wife are obviously different. How can they belong to the soul? So here again you have to practice descriptive knowledge, and you have to see that when body is not ours, how can things related to body like our family, wife, son, parents, how can they be? They can be oneness. There be oneness with the soul. Okay. So this was point 2 complete. Now moving on to the next page. Brother. The thing is that since time eternal, next page. Yeah, go down. Go down. Yeah, brother, from there. Third point. The thing is that since time immemorial means eternal, This ignorant creature has been believing that the soul and the body are the same. So this is our wrong belief, that the soul and the body are the same, because he sees the living beings with bodies everywhere, but has never seen the pure soul separate from the body. Pure soul, God's soul, it is written here. So you just put it as pure soul. Actually, we call it as Bhagwan Atma, so it has translated into God soul, but we mean is pure soul, separate from the body. And in Jinwani also, the soul and the body have been said to be one in practice. Practice means from the conventional viewpoint. Delete practice, uh, conventional viewpoint. Yeah. In the 20, leave it that. Now, leave few lines and then again come back. Okay, I'll just read the same thing. In the 27th verse of Samesar, it is clearly written, from conventional point of view, the soul and body are the one. But it is also written along with it, I do not want to be a living being or not, I will never be one with it. Okay. So it means that from the real point of view, the soul and the body can never become one. So that with that, we end the third point. Now moving on to the fourth point, to merge in the self. Slightly up. To merge in the self. Yes. To merge in the self. Yes. This is the fourth point. To merge in the self, which is different from the other, it is the real feeling of otherness. Okay. To merge in the self, which is different from the other, is the real feeling of otherness. So in the feeling of otherness contemplation, what we do is to merge in the self, which is different from the other. Now there is an example coming up slightly below. Just as different types of people gather in a fair, okay, despite being different in every way, they are just gathering. They are all each is an independent identity. By gathering together, they do not become one, but they remain different. So you add remain here, but they remain different. Otherwise, you cut this different word, because in the next line it is already written they remain different. Different. Last word. Last, not that one. Below that, yeah. Delete. Yes. Next line. But they remain different. Make the T small, so it will be okay. Yes. Yes. They remain different. Similarly, the soul and the body have come together despite being different in every way. They do not become one by coming together, they remain different. Few lines ahead, there is another example, example 2. Just as milk is milk, slightly below, yeah, here. Just as milk is milk and water is water, milk can never become water and neither water becomes milk. Okay. By mixing water in milk, neither milk becomes water nor water becomes milk. Even after mixing, milk remains milk and water remains water. In fact, they do not mix at all. They only appear to mix. Okay? Because it is not their nature to mix with anything else. Now, few lines below, in the same way, a soul, yeah, yes. In the same way, a soul is a soul and a body is a body. A soul can never be a body, and neither can the body be a soul. Even if a soul and a body reach the same place or they are in the same space point, neither the soul nor the body can be a body. And it happens that it happens, and neither the body nor the soul, even in the state of union, the soul remains a soul and the body remains a body. In reality, they do not meet. They only appear to meet because it is not their nature to meet anyone. To meet someone, one has to erase oneself. Okay. The meet will not be a correct word, merge. They do not merge into each other. Okay. So the soul remains soul and body remains body. So this is the main theme of the contemplation of otherness. Okay. So not only body, but all other associations are quite different from the body. Now, one page later, the last point.
Sir, ekatva, anyatva, what is this?
Yeah, this is anyatva.
Anyatva, no? This English, this one.
Yeah. Now the fifth point, since time immemorial, slightly below, you go below. Slightly below. Yes, here, middle. Since time immemorial, you just change the paragraph. Since time immemorial, this soul is considering, yes, fifth point. This soul is considering the other as its own. Other means non-soul objects as its own and is getting absorbed in it. This is why it is roaming in the four stages, not the stages. It will be four states of existence. Four state of existence. And 84 lakh species, and is also suffering infinite pain. Due to oneness and attachment with the other, it is not able to know itself properly, is not able to identify itself. In order to break oneness and attachment with the other, the contemplation of otherness from the other, or the contemplation about the separateness of the soul, okay, should be done with such depth until it is not done with the depth, the oneness and attachment towards the other cannot be broken. So you have only one way. You just contemplate and thought and read and read. Then that union of body and soul, the union of soul and other association can be broken. You have to put in a continuous effort. Okay. So that is very necessary. Continuous effort is very necessary. The only way to break the attachment and oneness with other is the proper understanding of the independent existence of each object. Okay. So each object is existing independently of one another. Nobody interferes in anybody's matter and nobody wants help from any other. Okay. Each one is complete in itself. Each one is independent of itself. Now just contemplating on this thought will help you in understanding the feeling of otherness. To consider any object which is all powerful in its limits as something else is a great delusion, a great ignorance, a great sin called delusion. Okay. So the great sin is nothing but the delusion. Okay. So this is the end. I think 2 lines are there still. The only way, next page, the only way to avoid this great sin. Why this delusion is being called a sin? Because under the influence of delusion, the soul and the soul commits the sins, all kinds of sins like violence, falsehood, theft, uh, then chastity, and the last one, possession. Okay, 5 sins are there, but the root cause is delusion. Okay, so the only way to avoid this great sin is that we should think and contemplate about the, it's not freedom, but it will be the independent nature of the object continuously. This continuous process of thinking is the feeling of otherness. That is the end of 5th point, and that is the end of this feeling of otherness. Now moving on to the last one, not the last one, but the 6th one, Asuchi Bhavana, impurity of the body. What is its name? Asuchi Bhavana. Asuchi means impure. So here the contemplation will be on the impurity of the body. So you have so much of attraction to this body, and here the Acharya says us that this body is full of impure. There is nothing worth looking at it, but still we feel that we will get happiness by touching this, by tasting this, all the 5 senses you can take up. Okay, so this is impurity. 1 minute. Again, you go 2-3 pages, 2 pages only. Go ahead, 2 page, another heading will come, impurity. One minute. 1 minute. Here it is. Feeling of impurity from there. The study of the thing that comes in contact. So, feeling of impurity, a study you remove, a study of you remove. Okay. The thing that comes in from there, the starts. First point starts. Okay. The thing that comes in contact with this body. Yes. The thing that comes in contact with this body for a moment also will also become dirty. Okay. Smelly like urine and feces, stool, that is stool. Okay. But the soul that remains pure in this body remains pure. Okay. He is knowable, he is revered, and that soul is also worth focusing. That soul is also the goal. You remove goal and write worth focusing. The association of the body worth focusing. The associations of the body, etc., are temporary. First one, they are without support. Second one, assurance. Okay, we are talking of associations only, right? So these associations are temporary. That is the first. They are without support. Second, they are insubstantial. Asar. Okay, that is third point. They do not accompany us. Fourth point, they are totally different from the soul. Fifth point, even after becoming well acquainted with this transcendental truth, okay, Parmarthik Satya, okay, by thinking about the feelings of temporary, etc., means by thinking about the 12 contemplations, the wise people, okay, the jnani, the learned, the scholar, the enlightened one, due to the attachment, as the body is a very near associated object. Okay, so this attachment to the body still raises waves of doubts. Doubts, no? Still raises waves of thoughts related to the body. Okay. To calm the above mentioned emotional waves related to the body, repeated contemplation of impurities related to the body by wise people is the feeling of impurity. Okay. So everywhere we are saying that repeated. Okay. So once you read again and again, and then you contemplate on that, then that leads to the decision making. Oh, this is different from me. So you always must have experienced that there are always some passing thoughts, one thought comes and goes away, and then you don't follow it up, and again it appears after some days, and again it disappears. So this kind of process goes on. But if you hold off that thought, hold on to that thought means you just contemplate about it. So what is going to benefit me? What is my long-term goal? These thoughts uh, able will able you to just concentrate on the important things that comes up in your thought process. We throughout the day, some thoughts are always going on in our mind. Okay, but which thought is important for me? To choose that requires a bit of intelligence and also practice. Okay, so if you are able to do that, then you will be able to understand the importance, what is going to benefit me. So to calm the above mentioned emotional waves related to the body, repeated contemplation. So I was just struck up with the word repeated. So there is no shortcut. You have to keep on repeating. So when you repeat the same thing, the clarity improves. Your clarity goes up, and then you are having a clear knowledge of the subject. And once you have a clear knowledge, your decision becomes correct. Okay. So there will not be any kind of delusion. Repeated contemplation of impurities related to the body by wise people is the feeling of impurity. As Pandit Daulat Ramji says from Chhadara, okay, you already studied now, so I think everyone must be aware. This body filthy with flame. So filthy means smelly, with phlegm means cough, and fat. Fat is chubby. Is a bag of filth in the form of flesh. Flesh means mass, blood, and pus. Okay. Disgusting and dirty substances keep flowing out of its 9 gates, 9 outlets. So each and every body has these 9 outlets. Now, what are these 9? 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose. Okay, so we have 2 nostrils. So this works out to 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, 6. Then mouth, 7th. And then other 2. It's not written here, but these are places of where urine comes out and the stool comes out. So altogether it is 9. Okay. So dirty substances keep flowing out of its 9 gates or outlets. O soul, why do you make friendship with such a disgusting body? So Daulat Ramji here motivates you to think on this line, that why do you make friendship with such a disgusting body? Why you consider that body as your own? Why you are getting attracted to other bodies? So this is the root cause of delusion. So if you contemplate on this, then definitely you will arrive at a decision that none of the association belongs to me. They are all different from me. And now, particularly in this contemplation of impurity, the impurity of the body has been dealt upon. And then you will realize that this body is a dead body right now. It is not a live body. Although we call it as life, but it is still a dead body because it has got no knowledge, Nothing, no qualities of soul. Soul is the powerhouse from where the knowledge is emitting every moment. And through that knowledge, all the five senses are working through that knowledge only. Okay. The five senses does not have knowledge in themselves. So to distinguish the soul and the body is the impurity of the soul contemplations. Impurity of the body, sorry, not the soul, but the impurity of the body. So there the first point ends. Now moving on to the second point, 2 page later on. In the above words, page starts with in the above words. Next page. Yes. Next paragraph. Being an object, this is the second point. Being an object that moves around in an area. So it is the same space point, not area, but the same space point. Being an object that moves around in same space point and is closely associated, the natural affection of the common people is found in the body because it's very closely associated, right? But being an object for the use of the senses like touch, etc., there is attachment in the body of women, etc. also. Okay. So here the example of woman is taken, but it will be true also for the opposite sex also. Okay. In order to create aversion from the object of the senses like touch, etc., the impurity of the body of woman, etc., has also been pointed out. So impurity, by highlighting the impurities of the body, the acharyas wants you to create detachment from this body. Okay. So this has also been pointed out in the context of worship of Brahmacharya Dharma. One such verse is found in Das Lakshan Puja, which is as follows. Okay. Then leave 2 lines. A person suffering from lust, okay, develops an attachment for the impure body of a woman, and he treats that impure body in the same manner as a crow does by pecking repeatedly at a rotten corpse lying in a cremation ground. Okay. So just as the crow does pecking repeatedly in a rotten corpse, similarly the person here, due to the development of lust, has an attachment with the body of a woman. And he's also doing the same thing, and he's believing that I will get happiness from it. Okay. So that is the delusion that this person has. Now moving on to the next point, for the third point, next page, middle line. This body itself is impure. Ahead, go ahead. Still go further. Go further. This body itself is impure. Every object that comes in contact with it also becomes impure by its contact. So the body is impure, and anything and everything that comes in contact with that body also becomes impure. The pure, sattvic, delicious, most beautiful food becomes leftover as soon as it comes in contact with the body. Okay. It becomes impure as soon as it is put in the mouth. One also feels remorseful. Okay. So remorseful means glani. Okay. Disgusting. One also feels remorseful while taking the chewed morsel in the hand. So once you have already chewed it, if you take that out, how would you feel? Okay. Disgusting. If it is reaches the stomach and gets vomited, no one is ready to even touch it. Okay. So once you vomit it out, no one is ready to touch it. In fact, a very dirty smell comes out of it. If it stays in contact with the body for a long time, okay, it transforms into excreta and urine, or stool and urine. If we wear clean, beautiful clothes in the morning, they become dirty by the evening and the smell of sweat starts coming. So that smell of sweat is coming from the body only. Even after taking bath in clean water, the body does not become clean. The water definitely becomes dirty. So now you realize that how dirty is the body, and there is uh, nothing to be feel attracted to it. Uh, Slightly below, there is an example given, very good example. So I want to highlight that example. This body, yes, not there. Sugar cane, it's an example of sugar cane. Slightly go below. Yes, yes. Uh, this body has fallen into your hands like a cane. Okay. So here the example starts. This body has fallen into your hands like a cane, sugar cane. Okay. If you try to suck it, okay, you will have to cry. If you saw this, if you saw this cane like diseased body in the soil of religious meditation, okay, so cane has been compared with diseased body, and the soil is the religious meditation. It will bear fruits in the form of infinite happiness. So, if you suck that cane, okay, you will not able to enjoy it. You have to cry. But if you saw this cane in a body, in a soil, okay, then you will get a large sugarcane tree out of it. Okay. So the middle portion between the two parts of cane, it's not eatable, right? So if you suck it, you will have to cry because you are not going to enjoy that. It's so hard. But if you saw that cane, you will have a big cane tree coming out of it. Similarly, this disease body, if you put it into use of religious meditation, it will bear fruits in the form of infinite happiness. Okay. So anyway, this body is not ours. This body is there for a limited period of time, and then it will go away. So before it goes away, let's utilize this body, and let's get engaged in religious meditation and manifest infinite happiness. That is the only way to become happy. Moving on to the next page, page number 93. Yes. Second paragraph. Thus we see, this is the fourth point, okay? Thus we see that the entire thinking from the feeling of impurity. No, this is not impurity. This is impermanence. Impermanence. From the feeling of impermanence, that is anitya bhavana, the first one, to the feeling of impurity, asuchi bhavana, 6, 1 to 6, okay, has revolved around the associated objects. In the associated objects too, the body has been the central point because it is the associated object very close to the soul. So now all the 6 contemplation will come one by one. The first one, in the feeling of impermanence, it's written here impurity, but you change it to impermanence, anitya bhavana. By discussing death, the momentary and fragility of the association of the body has been contemplated. Second, in the feeling of assurance, by talking about no one can save one from death, the association of the body is called assurance. Third one, in this world, sansar bhavana, one has taken many bodies, okay? From this body to that body to that body, many bodies, we have changed many bodies. But happiness has not been obtained in the association of any body so far. Why? Because there is no happiness there. So how you will be able to get it from there? Fourth one, the name of the association and separation of the body is birth and death. The soul alone suffers the infinite sorrows of birth and death. This is the fourth one. Fifth one, no association accompanies it. That is also the fourth one. Now the fifth one. All the associated objects like the body, etc., are very different from the soul. So this is the fifth one. Sixth one, the impurity of one's own and others' body is contemplated in the feeling of impurity of the body. Thus, it is certain that the entire thought process is centered on the body. The sole purpose of the entire thought process is to remove the focus from the purpose in mind. The nature of the thought process of the impermanence and other contemplation has been determined. Okay, so you change eternal to impermanence. Yes. So impermanence is the first contemplation and then follows the other contemplations. Okay. So this is the end of fourth point. Slightly below, 2 paragraphs below, at the right time. No. Here, at the right time. So it should be fifth point, right? So at the right time, when this soul examines the philosophy. So when the right times come, this soul examines the philosophy. Here philosophy means tattva gyan, the knowledge about the fundamentals. Okay. The soul examines the philosophy obtained through the practice of jinagam. Okay. And in the company, in is not there, and in the company of Sadgurus applies logic. In the company of Sadgurus, then you delete on the touchstones of and write directly applies logic. Yes, applies logic. Yes. Then at the level of the intellect or the level of the mind, don't write intellect, write mind. At the level of mind or at the mind level, okay, it becomes clear that these objects like the bodies, etc., are temporary, first one, without support, second one, without substance, third one, extremely impure, sixth one, very different from me, fifth one, not my companions in joy and sorrows, fourth one, I have to bear my joys and sorrows alone. Okay, so all the 6 contemplations are given in this particular paragraph. So this one is the fourth one. Extremely impure is the 6th one. Okay, and not my companions in joys and sorrow is 4th one. So numbers have been changed here. Okay, I am the pure soul, not the Lord soul, but the pure soul. Yes, I am the pure soul myself. not himself, myself. Different from these associations like body, etc., and the associative, not association, associative feelings caused by the caused by the instrumental cause. You add the word instrumental, nimit. Instrumental cause, and also from my pure modification, not synonym, but yeah, you already have changed. Good. From my pure modifications and the distinctions in qualities. Okay. Distinctions in qualities means gun bhed. Okay. Now who I am, it's being answered in this paragraph. I am the abode of infinite virtues. Virtues here means attributes, qualities. The repository of infinite powers. Powers means Shakti. Okay, so I am the repository of infinite powers. The solid mass of knowledge, Gyan ka ghan pind, the solid mass of knowledge, and the root of bliss, Anand Kand. I am the supreme Lord God. I am the supreme soul, supreme Paramatma. Okay.
Sir,
So,
if you don't mind, that Hindi page, can you tell me?
Hindi page
Uh,
one.
if you are having means, please.
Yes. 1 minute. Huh? Page number 90. Fifth point is page number 95, middle paragraph. Okay. So this fifth one is over. Now the sixth one, after one paragraph only. Even after being endowed, yes, last paragraph here. Yeah. If even after being endowed with Samyak Darshan and Samyak Gyan, when the use is out of reach due to instability, then due to time immemorial practice, the waves of modifications to manage this body and other association starts rearing their head again. Okay. So this is the 6th point, page number 96 in Hindi. सम्यक दर्शन और सम्यक ज्ञान से संपन्न हो जाने पर भी अस्थिरता के कारण, okay, even after being endowed with samyak darshan samyak, when the use is out of reach. So here use is active consciousness. You remove use and you write active consciousness, उपयोग. बाहर जाता है तो अनादिकालीन अभ्यासवश इन देहादी संयोगों को
Sir, can you repeat the correction 1 minute, please?
1 minute. Where we are, okay. Even after being endowed with Samyak Darshan and Samyak Gyan, with the use, so remove use and use active consciousness, उपयोग.
1 minute.
Active consciousness उपयोग is out of reach due to instability, then due to time immemorial practice.
अरे go try. Slowly try कर थसे.
So
Try the first block.
the waves of modification to manage this body and other associations starts raising their head again. Okay. Although they do not have the same strength as they had in the presence of mithyatva. Okay. That is delusion. Still the mind becomes agitated. So these thoughts will come. Okay. You cannot avoid these thoughts. So it will come, but if you contemplate again, this thought will go away. So this was the 6th point. And now the 7th point on the next page. Yes.
Which?
Why?
Why?
This will be 500, no 500.
1 minute.
But 5 can come here. No?
6 again. Just I will to repeat something.
5 can come here, no?
Aditi ji, you are not muted. Yeah. So you come back to point 6 again.
Yeah, you're right, sir.
Even after being endowed with Samyak Darshan and Samyak Gyan. Last point, 6th point. Go further up, further up. Endowed, ENDOWED. DOWED, right.
This one?
No. It is on page number 102 last. Previous one, you have to go back. Yeah, right. Even after being endowed with Samyak Darshan and Samyak Gyan. So that means he has developed the right faith and the right knowledge. So now he is an enlightened soul, wise soul. When the active consciousness or upyog is out of reach due to instability, okay? Then due to time immemorial practice, means past habits, the waves of modifications to manage this body and other association starts raising their head again. Although they do not have the same strength as they had in the presence of mithyatva, that is delusion, still the mind becomes agitated because of the charitra monia karma. Okay. Although the unity, attachment, and infinite love towards the association of body has been subdued. However, the attachment related to the unexplainable, etc., still exists. Though his power is 1/5 of the infinite love. Okay. It is only love, however, it should not be considered so weak that the love cannot steer the mind. Now, 1 minute. What they mean by love? Let me just check it out. It was page 96. Yes. So the strength has deteriorated because with delusion, it was very intense. But now the delusion has gone. So those thoughts doesn't have the strength. But still, it's because of the charitra monia, faith conduct deluding monia karma, conduct deluding karma. Okay, these things happen.
So love is conduct deluding karma?
No. Love.
It will be moha, no?
I think more होना चाहिए. I'm not getting in this Hindi. Wait a minute. Again, come back to that 6th point. हाँ. one. Although the unity, attachment, and infinite love so it is Anant Anurag. In Hindi, it is Anurag. So Anurag uh, has been translated into love, but it would be attachment. Okay. Although the unity, attachment, and infinite attachment towards the association body has been subdued. So the infinite attachment is not there. However, the attachment related to the unexplainable. Unexplainable is apratyakhyan adi, the second level. Okay. Attachment related to the partial mm, mm, the passion relating to passion diluting partial conduct. Okay. So attached related to the, you write apratyakhyan, Khyyan, that's all. Pratyakhyan related etc. still exist. Okay, fine. Now it's okay. Okay. यद्यपि अनंत अनुराग के समक्ष though his power is 1/5 of the infinite attachment. यद्यपि अनुराग
So here it was infinite love by which
1 minute. Though his power is 1/5, not it's 1/5. अनंत में भाग मात्र है. So अनंत से भाग is not 1/5. Though his power is
just a part of.
just a part of the infinite attachment. Okay. Though his power is just a part of the infinite passion, uh, hmm. Then an example of Adinath Bhagwan. It's not there. 1 minute.
Here it is there, sir.
Okay. Okay. It is only love. However, it should not be considered so weak that the love cannot steer the mind. Okay. तथापि उसे इतना कमजोर भी नहीं समझना चाहिए. So you don't expect to be so much of weak that वह अनुराग चित्त को तरंगित ही ना कर सके. That it will not disturb your mind. Okay. Disturb the mind. Okay. It should not be considered so weak that passion cannot disturb the mind. Okay. The waves of modification that inspired and compelled Bharat Chakravarti to fight for 60,000 years. Bharat Chakravarti fought for 60,000 years. Every Chakravarti does that. Leaving aside the benefit of the divine voice of Lord Adinath, were the result of this unstable love. Unstable love means unstable attachment. Love is attachment. Yes. So here ends the 6th point. Now coming on to the last point. Or you can call it as a conclusion. In this way, next page, page number 96. In this way, 1 minute. In this way, yeah, it was there in this way. Yes. Slightly up. In this way, we see that the usefulness of contemplating these 12 sentiments is continuously necessary from the false seeker of liberation to the self-seeker according to one's own role. One minute. So I'll first read the Hindi. Only 3 lines are there. Okay. Okay. One minute. In this way, we see that the usefulness of contemplating these 12 sentiments is continuously necessary. Where it is? I'm not getting the Hindi one. Okay. From the false seeker. Wait, 1 minute. Just I'm. Okay. Yes. In this way, the usefulness of contemplating this 12 sentiment is continuously necessary from the false seeker. Means false seeker means the one who is under the influence of delusion. Okay, from the uh, seeker, from the false seeker means that only mithyatvi mumukshu atmarti of liberation from the 1 minute. Continuously necessary from the seeker who is in the first stage of spiritual development, from the seeker who is in the first stage of spiritual development, yeah, from the uh, seeker who is in the first stage of spiritual development to the seeker, not the self-seeker, to the seeker according to one's own role. Means one's own role means from the false seeker to the from the false seeker of the spiritual development to the seeker of different stages of spiritual development, from the seeker of different stages of spiritual development until the soul becomes completely detached and gets absorbed in meditation for eternity. Okay. So the contemplation would be starting from the first stage of spiritual development. It will go on, then you come to the fourth, then fifth, sixth, seventh. Still you don't attain the omniscience knowledge, this contemplation will go on. Okay. So you have to just do one thing. You have to just contemplate and move ahead in this path of liberation. Okay. And this contemplation is going to help you to traverse the whole journey of the path of liberation and ultimately get liberation. Okay. So this was the last point, and with this we have completed first 6. Okay. Now next week, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, 3 classes will be there. 1 class would be extra, and that will be the last week. We will be completing the next 6 contemplations. So 2 each. I have planned 2 each for Monday, 2 for Tuesday and 2 for Wednesday. And that will complete our syllabus for this semester. Then you can just revise and prepare for the objectives. In meantime, you have already given you LCPA questions that also you have to complete. And I think I have given you individual contemplations to each for the concept clarity paper 3. So 2 people have submitted. So now 6, the first 6 are over. So those who have been allotted the first 6, they can just submit it in the group. So the others will also listen to it, and they will have a revision to that. Okay. So I think last date for that is, what is the last date for concept clarity paper 3? I
I
think
think June 20th, sir.
with June
20th.
20th. Okay. So today is what?
12.
12th. So another 8 days are left.
Sir, CC3 is a Viva audio message, not written. Written or audio?
So CC3 would be written.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
But after writing, you just go
Gist.
to
Okay.
audio message and put the, okay. So
Oh.
all else will listen to it. And for Viva, you have to send a voice message. There are 3 questions given there. Okay. So first you complete this CC3. Okay. So next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be covering the other 6, and that will complete our syllabus. Okay. And then you can revise for another, you will have another 10-15 days. Yeah, 15 days at least for the objectives to come up. And then we will start the next sem. Around once you complete 2 objectives, I will start the next sem. That will be the 4th sem. Okay. So first we will have Moksha Marg Prakashak. And then I suppose we have in the 4th sem, I have to see. I'll just share the syllabus again, so you will have an idea. You can keep the books ready. You can take I'll send the PDFs also. So next week we'll do all these things. So this is all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, I think it's all very, you have to just read the whole chapter. I have read the selected points, but when you find time, you can read the whole chapter. It is all very interesting and very practical, in the sense that when you want to practice discriminative knowledge, all these contemplations are very, very helpful. Okay. So these are 12 different ways of practicing discriminative knowledge. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिनवाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। उसके लिए जिनवाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है।